Hey, everybody. Nobody on there yet?
Not yet. It's just another good old Bushnell live episode. But no, I don't think we've got anybody watching yet. We'll see if we can't get a few people on, hopefully. All right, we got one person I see, so we'll give it a couple more seconds. 4 people. All right, we're moving right up there. So welcome, everybody. I believe this is the 7th episode of Bushnell Live. They're starting to fly by, but this time we've got some, I guess I'll call them freaky people with us. Don and Kandi Kisky of the Whitetail Freaks. How you guys doing?
Geeks, freaks, whatever you want to call us, man.
We're doing good.
We're doing good up here in Iowa.
How is
yeah, we're just trying to survive with and everything, but it's all good. Trying to get crops in, getting ready to film velvet this summer, and all the fun stuff coming up.
Right on. So this is a little bit of an off season for you guys. I mean, I use off season in a very broad tense, but you know, you're kind of turkey season's past. You're working on the farm, and then I'm sure things will start really picking up as we get a few more months in. Is that kind of how that year typically goes for you guys?
Yeah, pretty much. But we got all 1,000 acres of farm ground to put in, so that keeps me really busy until we get all that done. And we've been extremely wet up here in Iowa, so I'm behind to say the least. We got 465 acres left to go. Got a lot of spraying to do and all that stuff. So definitely keep them busy. And then when it's raining, I'm fishing, of course.
How are the fish and biting? You said you were catching a few minutes ago when we were chatting.
We're doing good. There's a little local lake in town I fish here, a little river lake. We catch a lot of walleye and crappie in there. But right now it's a lot of smaller ones, and I'm just catching for pond stalkers. Just burning time.
Kandi, what about you? Are you out there along with him throwing the?
Yeah, I actually haul seed, haul the chemicals to him. He had me haul the gooseneck trailer with all the chemicals and water down to Missouri. I haul anhydrous, so I help him on the 1,000 acres.
Just me and her, man.
Just him and I.
Very nice, very nice. So you guys have been doing what you do for quite some time. I think there's almost been doing this for almost 30 years. Is that correct? Or 35 years?
Yeah. No doubt. We started 1990 with Drury Outdoors. Imagine that. That was a few years ago.
That is a few years ago. So what did you guys ever think that you would be where you are now when that started off? Because I know in like 1998 or somewhere in there, Don, you kind of started doing some video production work and then got on with Team Realtree 2001. And then, wow, now we're here later and you guys are one of the premium shows on the Outdoor Channel.
Yeah, well, thank you. We just started off by, just goofing around, just playing with it. We were killing deer, and we thought we might as well have a camera in our hands. We started filming hunts and just doing some video stuff. I didn't intend for it to go any further than that. But after a while, the video market kind of died, and it's like, well, I've already got 10 or 15 years invested in this. We might as well make the next step and go TV. So.
And we've been very blessed over the years. Pat Durkin, I always say, was one of the original guys that gave me my start at deer and deer hunting. He gave me like my first 1.5 page spread, full picture of my big buck. And yeah, I always feel like that and then Drury's, that really what launched our career. But then obviously meeting the different people like David Blanton, Michael Waddell, and having Realtree come hunt with us and having Earnhardt, Ned Yost, Bill Jordan, all those, it's just kind of, it's the networking of people that we've been so blessed to be around. And to have a, successful career has been, we're lucky.
Lucky. Good timing. Yep. I'd hate to start all up again right now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different landscape, but definitely you can tell the people who this is a passion for, that they help, educate. They do a lot of things like you guys have been able to kind of ride that wave as we've seen everything. So kudos to you guys for all the hard work. Right. But I mean, hunting's been in your guys' blood, right? I mean, this isn't something that you just stumbled upon. If you guys have seen some of my shows before, I got to do a little sleuthing around on the internet. So, I mean, you guys, this is going back a little bit. This is, Don, I believe your first buck right here.
Hey, thanks for that. That's awesome. I remember that like it was yesterday. 243 Remington Model 700 right there.
Nice. Very nice. So yeah, how did you guys get introduced to hunting? Was this always a family thing on both of your sides, or how did your first experience kind of go?
My family's always been into hunting. I started off with my dad as soon as I could walk. He was a big coon hunter, and went coon hunting every night all fall long, and that transitioned into all the trapping and everything else we did. So since I could walk, 3 years old.
And actually, my family was not big hunters. So when Don and I met, and obviously I want to remind everybody, he's 8 years older than me, so I'm younger. But when we met, I just knew it was a big passion for him. If I ever wanted to see him, I needed to join him in the woods. And then from there, I mean, I've learned everything I know about hunting from this man right here.
Well, look at the money I'm saving on a cameraman now. Think about that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was smart planning. That was definitely smart planning.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of weird stuff going on, unpredictability, but the good thing is the outdoors are always open, so it's always nice. And you guys have kind of hunted with the who's who. You named off a few people, but I mean, you guys have hunted with everybody. I love this picture. This will probably take you back a little ways, but you got Lee and Tiffany there. I mean, this is good stuff.
That was a few years ago. Yeah, that's the old picture.
And then, you've also got. I think these guys have hunted with you a little while. If I can find the picture, but see here. Here's a good one. I thought of kind of the who's who of the Whitetail Freaks world. So show it. Yeah, Mr. Chudum.
All people. Oh yeah, love Troy and Jake and all them guys. They're awesome people.
They come up, they cook, they take care of their deer. They are just the best guests. Some of the best guests we've ever had. And of course, T-Bone, he's hunted.
So I got to ask.
Nick, T-Bone, both of them hunted up here. Yeah.
Michael's
been here.
I mean, even T-Bone has stolen my daughter's SpongeBob umbrella. You should get that back for me.
I'll see what I can do. No promises there. So, when you guys were hunting with the Landrys, I got to ask when that buck came out that he shot, if one of you guys are with him, did you tell him to shoot him? Is that?
Troy's always saying it all the time. I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to shoot him. He's goofy, but we have a lot of fun with the blind man. It's a contagious. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I bet. I bet it's a lot of fun with those guys. So who have you hunted with that we might not know, or maybe didn't appear on the show, that you guys were, when you look back on some of your hunts, that you just maybe really enjoyed? That
Foxworthy.
Yeah, Realtree brought Foxworthy up. He's awesome.
Yeah, he was
great guy to be in the tree with.
I don't think there's anybody that, I mean, when we first years ago, when farming was terrible, we needed to sell some hunts. So we actually called Stan Potts. He's hunted with us. And he called David, which then in return, they put in Ned Yost, Dale Earnhardt Sr., and Bill Jordan. And of course, my family was big into racing. We didn't tell nobody. I mean, nobody that they were all coming. And so it was a very quiet, private hunt, and everybody had a blast. In fact, that was one of my favorite hunts, because I had to take Dale Sr. back to the airport because Budweiser paid him $12 million and he needed to go away. And I was like, yeah, you better go. So Michael, I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but Michael was actually, him and David decided to pass Dale and I on the gravel road. And it was nothing but
deep snow
and ice. And I was scared crapless. And of course the pilot in the back's going, Kandi, just be quiet. I'm like, well, this is my rental. So anyway, he tried to shove him off the road. Then Dale decided to be a little, to back off, and he got to the end of the driveway, and Michael Waddell, of course,
taunting.
Yeah, decides to taunt Dale Sr., gets out, goes, ha ha, we passed Dale Earnhardt. They thought they were scot-free until they got him stopped at the house in front of the tree.
Shoved him up in the tree.
He just shoved him up into the tree.
Broke the windshield out.
So
you're kidding me.
No,
put him in a tree, huh?
I swear. And so,
a good time.
We've just had some of the best.
Like I said, had Ned Yost, which is, the Royals manager for the Royals.
At the time, he was third base coach for Atlanta Braves, and we just had stayed in touch. And
another super guy. Just best of the best right there.
Good friends. Yeah. Everybody.
That's a great story. Nobody has one like that, I don't think. That's a good A good deer cam story. So where did the name Whitetail Freaks come from? And was there a genesis behind it? Was it just kind of popped open a cold one and there it was, or was there another story behind it perhaps?
Our producer Mark Baird actually came up with the title, and Don hated it.
You run it by me. No, I don't like that. Like, this doesn't sound right. Let's do something else.
And then we got to thinking, and we're like, okay, let's go with it. It's kind of like TikTok, Matt. Like I tell you, just go with it. Be who you are.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody is who they are on TikTok. So you brought it up. So you guys are there. You're on it, right? People can go follow the Whitetail Freaks on TikTok.
Yeah, but I apologize for what she posts already to everybody. There's some really stupid stuff.
Oh, Lord. You got to have fun. Life's all about having fun. If you're too serious, I mean, come on.
So I got to ask, did you start it before all this COVID craziness, or have you been on TikTok for way back?
Well,
no, it was maybe a couple weeks, I want to say, before it all started.
So an early adopter.
Yeah. And so then, I mean, everybody was telling us, oh, you got to try it. And then, of course, my daughter's been doing it for a decade, and she's totally embarrassed by us being on it. She's like, oh, that is so stupid.
Yeah. Them young people don't like us old geezers on their platform.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of it was an interesting rabbit hole to jump down when I decided to make the TikTok move. But like you said, Waddell's on there, Travis is on there, you guys are on there. There's a kind of a quiet sector of hunting folk that are trying to take it over. I think that's awesome.
I'm surprised how many people are hunters that are on there. Actually, yes, that's crazy. And so, farmers, believe it or not.
I don't doubt it. It's good entertainment. It really is. And there are some really creative people out there that have you can tell they're putting a lot of work behind those videos. And I don't know what all they're getting for them, but they're definitely working hard. So a lot of people might not know it. When we talk about the Whitetail Freaks, I mean, you guys are a team or almost an army of people. Jake, Cody, Woody, Tyler. I mean, there's a bunch of people that are flying the Whitetail Freak flag, if you will. So how many total members are there, if we can call them that?
Well, one of the veterans, it's Jason Bosall. We got Tyler Reese, Spencer Atwood, Woody Orn, Dave Little, Mac McCollum, Jake Stokey, Cody Jarrett. There's at least 8 or 9 of us besides Don and I. We're a core group of blue collar workers. They're farmers, linemen. Jake's actually a producer for American Rifleman. So I feel like, we've got one of the most humblest groups, but very successful guys out there.
They're just as crazy as we are.
Yeah, you should come to Freaks Weekend. That's a pretty fun time.
I was actually talking to a couple of the guys, and Cody brought that up to me. We were chatting on the old Instagram, and he said I had to ask about Freak Week. So what is Freak Week? What happens there?
No cell phones. No social media.
We just get together, have a good time, do a little fishing, a little beer drinking, a little bit of everything. A
little bit of a morale, getting everybody excited for the season. Because what's great about our guys is everybody's happy for each other. There's no jealousy, and we want to continue that because we just got, like I said, the greatest group of guys that film for us. So just nice to all get together because we are all friends too.
We'll go out in the evenings when they're up, and we'll pull out the Bushnell scopes and film some velvet footage and look at some bucks and stuff like that. Just have fun. Good time though.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a good time. We tried to get out there last year. Good to see you guys, and things got kind of crossed. So once we get the all cleared, for travel, we'll definitely have to come out and fly the Bushnell flag during Freak Week. That ought to be a lot of fun.
Come on up, man.
So I got to ask you. I mean, you guys are known for. I won't say known for shooting big bucks, but you shoot a lot of really nice bucks. I think when I was looking around, Don, I think your biggest is like a 175 somewhere in there. I'm sorry, 213. And Kandi's is around a 175 class. Is that your biggest bucks, or have you guys gone up above that now?
Yeah, her biggest is 188 actually, but who's counting inches? It was a nice deer.
Yours is 213.
Yeah, the 213. That was back in 2000, I think. Mm-hmm. That was back in the good old days.
So, to shoot a deer that big, would you equate it to a lot of time in the field, or like what you guys do? I mean, you're very selective on the animals I know that you take on your personal property and scouting. So, I mean, what are some tips if somebody wants to go shoot a big buck? Do you just put down the money and go to where they are, or what would you tell people?
Well, don't live in Florida. You better move to, better come to Iowa or somewhere.
Kansas or Oklahoma. There's a lot of great states, but a lot of time and effort put into scouting. This man right here runs his trail cameras 365 days a year. So he knows every deer that's out there. They're trying to, understand their habits and what they're doing, where they're going, their bedding areas, their home core areas. A lot of work this man puts in.
Well, the biggest thing is just keeping your deer alive to age 5. And that's the biggest challenge for everybody. It's not killing them. It's getting them to the proper age. Because how popular it is on all of our fence lines now. Everybody wants to sit there and they see a 165-inch 3-year-old. Well, you can bet he's done. He's not going to make it. So that's our biggest challenge now, is getting to the proper age. Obviously, the more ground you control, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah. So when you're scouting and during the early season, off season, or all year round like you are, when you're looking at those younger bucks, are there certain characteristics you're keying in on to go, hey, he could be something if he gets to that 5 years of age?
About it. That's how I know the deer's age, because we've been watching them since they were 2 years old. It's hard for me to look at a deer, oh, that's 5. Well, I don't know if he's 6 or 7 or 5. The reason I know he's 5 is I've been watching him since he was 2 years old. We had a deer last year we named Blackjack. He was a 21 pointer. It was 2 years ago, I guess it was.
Yep.
And he was a little 3-year-old. He scored 162 by the sheds. And he was a possible 2-year-old then. But anyway, he blew into a giant. He's like 24 points.
Yep.
And
passed him. I mean, we passed.
Watched him all summer long, filmed him through the spotting scope and everything. Got great footage. And then EHD hit, and then it wiped me out. And I lost a tremendous amount of bucks last year. Right here at the home place, I probably lost 25 bucks. There was literally 2 shooters in my bottom field last fall. That was.
Yeah, that's got to hit you where it hurts, and you put all that time and and energy, and that's tough. But when those things aren't happening, and you've got a lot of deer that you've been watching, how do you go about keeping track that that's the same one? Because I think I would get lost. I'm sure a lot of people else would. What's your secret to making sure he's the right one?
Usually you can tell. I mean, usually there's something dead given on a deer's rack. You can tell from one year to the next, but sometimes they change so much it's hard to tell. But you go back from years and look at the trail pictures and stuff.
Well,
and
shed hunting.
Compare them and compare the sheds, and then you understand that, yes, 100% that's the same deer. But it's not always a given that you look at and go, well, that's the same one, and I have to think about it sometimes. So
he's got to go rummage through his boxes and boxes of sheds to go find that year before's set, so he can compare like their antler growth or what their what jumps they're making.
Either look at the sheds, look at the trail pictures, look at the footage, everything.
So I'm picturing like a CSI garage with labels and marks of deer and rollout. Is that what we're looking at, Kandi?
Yeah, we got a DNA laboratory out there.
It's the basement's full. It's my dining room here is full of 1, 2, 3, probably 4 or 5 Rubbermaid tubs full of sheds. The living room.
I think we got 22 big tubs full of sheds. There's no more room in here anymore.
No, and he won't let me sell them either.
Never sold a shed.
That's what I was gonna ask. Are you selling them? I know there's a good market for nice sheds for sure.
We have done a lot of giveaways and stuff.
Yeah, some giveaways
and stuff like that with some. But other than that, I've walked so many miles for them. My knees are wore out from them, so I'm going to keep them.
Kandi's shooting in the eye glance over there, going, "Let's sell a couple of those."
Well, you're reading my mind, Matt.
So you talked about shed hunting, Don. I know you love it. Is that really one of the keys? Is to get out there on your properties, see what you can find, and start kind of trying to document some of that in the best way you can?
I tell everybody it's between picking the sheds up on the property, taking all the trail photos to all these deer, and the actual sightings, because you're not always going to take every picture. You're not always going to pick up every shed. So it's all 3 combined. I'd say the main way, though, is for sure all the trail photos that we take to these deer. Keeping up with them. That's how we keep up with them.
Okay.
Because in the summertime, you can take a picture.
When you are shed hunting, you have, I mean, I've watched some of your videos, great stuff how you're finding them. What is the secret to be so successful? It looks like from what I'm seeing, you kind of survey a big area before you go into it. You don't just kind of go where you think they'd be. Is that right? Or am I seeing something else?
No, the key is hands down food. If they start shedding January 1 through March 15th or 20th, that's the time slot. You got to have the food. If you don't have the food during that time spot, they're going to be on your neighbor somewhere else.
Yep.
So, but if you've got the food, you'll have the sheds. Unless you share food with your neighbor, then you'll both have the sheds.
Well, and you always think too, south-facing slopes is a real key spot for.
And where to find them for sure.
Yeah.
It's either east in Iowa. It's either east or south slopes is your best bet. They got to lay out of the wind or they'll die.
Okay, that's a good point. I probably people don't really take that into consideration during those times. That's a really good tip. Any other tips like that? I like that one. I'll have to use that
I think
myself.
most deer shed at night, if that makes a difference. And usually at night they're out in the open, out in the grass. So I'll find 60% of my sheds out in the open grass. They'll be close to food, but 100 yards out of the wind, laying down somewhere, and that's where we find the bulk of our sheds. And if you want the very best time to shed hunt, it's when it's mist and rain.
Oh, that's the best time.
That makes them pop like you can't believe it. Everything else dull, and the antler just shines. You can see them for 100 yards away. Bright sunny days are your worst.
That makes sense. Yeah. So how many days a year do you think you guys are shed hunting, or you're out there looking for it? I mean, it sounds like a lot to me.
Yeah, I try to stay out till March 20th sometimes. I'll look around the food plots a little bit, but I don't go into the core area until March 20th. We give it at least a good solid month, I suppose.
It's a great exercise too.
Okay.
Have a good time to get out, pick up sheds, and see what you got.
Yeah. Any other tricks of the trade when it's going in there? That you've learned over the years?
Take your binoculars.
Oh man, for sure. And that isn't.
I'm serious. I'm being dead serious.
You cannot be without your glasses, because we'll stand on the far hill and you grid pattern the other hillside with your binoculars. And man, we find a lot of sheds that way. You don't have to walk. You're just sitting there moving your glasses. So that's a huge part. And not only that, let's say you see something about 50, 80 yards over there. It kind of looks funny. Well, you don't want to walk over and check it out to see that it's a stick. So you throw your binoculars up quick and verify it.
Sam finds his normally in bedding areas off the fields, he said.
Yep. Looks like that's where Sam stood. And Scott says it looks like he says he walks till he's tired. So
yeah, Scott definitely walks until he's tired. Oh Lord.
So, with all these hunts, you guys have a most memorable one that kind of sticks out in your mind, because, on your Facebook page, on your Instagram, I mean, you guys have shot some big ones. But is there one that kind of, that was a nice buck. Is there one that just kind of sticks out the most, you guys, or maybe it was the same hunt or different hunts?
Well, for me, the one that sticks out to me is, it's not really because it's the biggest. It's just the way how beautiful it was coming in. Unfortunately, my cameraman butchered it. the 213 that I killed years back, and he was just gorgeous coming across this tall weedy field where we rattled him in, and he's breathing steam coming across there. Just that was really cool hunt for me.
You just have to trust us. It looked gorgeous. It was really gorgeous. Even though I hit the camera button, record button off.
I'll give her a break. On the little cameras, you had to look into the viewfinder. When you look into the viewfinder, she fogged it all up and couldn't see. And that's what happens. Nowadays, you got the LCD screen.
It doesn't happen anymore like that. So if I could take it back, I would. I think one of my favorite hunts was when Tiffany and I actually got to took Tiffany on one of my farms and filmed her, and the guys, Lee and Don, went up the ridge, and we had, we were both looking at each other like, well, here's the rattling horns. And she's like, I don't know what to do with them. I'm like, well, I don't get to use them. My husband uses them. Because, we have controlling husbands. I don't know if you know that by now. And so then we had the grunt tube, and we're like, yeah. And then we had the grunt tube, and I'm like, okay, let's just do something. And sure enough, we had this buck gurgling, running through the woods, and come out underneath our tree stand. And Tiffany makes a smoking shot like she normally does. And I did have it all on film.
Good footage. So, yeah.
And we do the recovery and everything. And then we go back to the car and grab a couple brewskis. And we're waiting for the guys. And we're like, hey, they're like, did you see anything? We're like, yeah, come with us. And they're like, and it ended up score what, like 180?
180 something. Had a drop tine with 5 drops off the drop tine. It was pretty cool.
And what was really cool is that spring, after she shot it, Dawn actually found a tip
of one of the
broken tines that we sent and fit just perfect on it.
Sent it in the mail, and she said, "Yep, stuck it right on."
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. That's pretty lucky to be able to find just the tine on it. Cody, Cody's saying he likes Kandi's banana tine buck.
Oh, that was a good buck from.
It was one of his favorites that he saw you on.
Hello, Cody. Yeah.
Cody, one of the Whitetail Freaks team members. So you guys, I mean, you've hunted a lot. You've been doing this for a lot of years. Is there anything still on the bucket list? Is there, maybe something you haven't done or something you'd like to do again?
None of them I can afford, but all of them I want to do. I mean, moose hunts now running.
What is it?
2,000.
What is it you want to do?
I want to kill a big moose for sure. But if you, the big Yukon, I mean, you're talking some high dollar hunts there. Some of those. We go elk hunting every year. We go to New Mexico elk hunting. I love elk hunting. But other than that, I'm just a North America type guy. She's been to Africa shooting game stuff. Yeah, which is really weird. I'm the one who gets her into hunting, and she goes to Africa without me. I don't know how that works, but
yeah, I get to go with the women, the NRA, past president Sandy Frome, and some other awesome ladies from the NRA. We had a blast and shot a lot of animals. But for me, I've always wanted to shoot a big muley, but I also want to hit the 200 Club on video of whitetails, where Vicky and Don and Stan and Lee and all, certain guys are in it. I want to enter. I mean, I let him have some of the deer because I feel sorry for him. So that's why I'll film, the hunts instead. So it is what it is.
Well, it looks like you're doing all right to me. I mean, both of you guys, I would love to go shoot a big moose, but that's a nice buck right there. That's definitely a shooter. You remember?
That's
and then I love
it. That particular buck I shot, that food plot, I have shot, 4 or 5?
At least.
Big bucks out of
one of our best food plots for her.
Yeah, one of the best food plots that we have for me.
She don't let me hunt it. That's why I don't kill nothing there. Yeah, it's been a good one though.
Well, this was another nice one.
Oh.
Let's see if we can get this one to come up. This was a big.
I got a great story with that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and tell the story. It's okay. I don't care. I've got thick skin.
That's my only net boon right there. That's Corey Thomas that filmed me on that. Good kid, but no, actually, 4 days before that deer came in with Kandi, and she had a little mishap. Whether she hit the blind, I don't know exactly what happened. Arrow went high and nicked the antler. And today there's a broadhead mark on the antler. And 4 days later, I went in and killed that deer. So I got to thank her for that one.
See, and all I was doing was giving a warning shot, so he knew Don's arrow was coming in 4 days.
That's right.
See, that's what wives do.
No, actually, I was mad, and I told her, I said, that deer's never coming back. You just messed that all up, man. But I was wrong, thankfully.
No matter what, they're still on our wall. So whether he shoots it or I shoot it, I don't care.
Exactly.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, and you guys have been together a long time, obviously, as we've been talking a little bit. But was it an early introduction to go hunting, or did you have to kind of talk her into it, Dawn, or was Kandi ready to go?
We shot her first turkey when she was 6 months pregnant.
Yeah, with Caleb. I belly crawled across the open grass field, or a grass field in Missouri. And I shot my turkey, took it to the check station, and the guy there, when I was checking it in, didn't believe me. He's like, "You didn't shoot that." I'm like, "Yeah, I did shoot it. Excuse me, but I did shoot it."
Now we kind of figured out all these years later what's wrong with our son. She belly crawled on a turkey and shot the turkey.
That's not nice.
I'm just kidding, Caleb.
Oh, that's funny. That is good stuff right there.
We've been together since 1990, but we've been married 28 years, and we farm together, hunt together, and so being quarantined together was really no different.
Life is normal around here.
You speak of that, been together for so long. It's kind of a theme we've been doing. I've been trying to find some old pics. We showed that one of Dawn, but I thought this one was a good one.
Oh God,
this is going back.
Good looking hair.
That's my junior prom. That is my junior prom. Yeah. So see, you can. I told you he's 8 years older than me. So if you did the math, he was probably. Yeah, we got some pics.
In my defense,
so
I was friends with her family already. So
yeah,
I was already friends with her.
Yeah. Okay.
Wasn't like I was some creepy old man, you know.
But you gotta love the big hair.
No, we wouldn't.
Hair. You know how much aqua it took to do that hair?
Well, speaking of which, I mean, there it is. That's the big hair.
More awesomeness.
Oh Lord, Matt, thank you. I appreciate that one.
My hair is just a little gray.
You're welcome. That's what we do. That's what we like to do here on Bushnell Live, is just take a little stroll down Facebook lane and see what we can uncover. It's great. It's I think anytime that you can get out as a family and enjoy the outdoors, it just makes it that much better. As my wife and I, as new parents, we're chomping at the bit to go do that. Just can't wait to have that experience. So any tips for people like me, maybe with young kids that are fixing to take them out on that first hunt or just get them introduced, what you guys would suggest doing, or maybe more importantly, not doing?
I say you start them off definitely in the nice weather, like turkey hunting. Shed hunting is beautiful in the spring. That's a great way to introduce kids or for first-time hunters, and sneak them into it that way. Ease them into it, I should say.
Yeah, don't start them out in the cold. That's
20 below zero and sitting in a tree. They're not going to like that.
Because a young kid, when you're trying to tell them that they've got to pass deer that obviously some people would kill to shoot, we let our daughter shoot her very first deer, whatever she wanted. But then after that, we told her, you have shot enough deer. Because like 2 years ago, she shot a 160. I'm like, okay, you now have a standard you have to maintain, just like your parents.
You can't go backwards.
So she don't like it. So she's not real. Even if she'll be 14, even her's like, can I shoot it? 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 So she was happier to shoot a doe than she was a buck.
For some reason this year, she was so excited to shoot a doe. It's crazy. And I never thought about it. I said, well, I shot a doe. She wants to shoot one.
And
makes sense.
And she always loves to help gut, like whether it was gutting the fish, gutting the deer. She always almost had her head right in there. Don would always She's
not freaked out by that.
No, show her, explain all the anatomy and what he was doing. So she could learn, right off the bat that this isn't gross. This is, why we do what we do.
So you have to do it. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think those are all good tips. Is when you get people out there, you got to make it enjoyable.
Yep.
Try to make it uncomplicated. You obviously don't want to take them on a sheep hunt or go too extreme. But I think those are all great tips. Any other pieces of advice for new parents, or maybe just taking not necessarily your kid, but just somebody else out hunting for the first time?
It was really funny. About 4 years ago, we took one of Kaylee's friends who had never, ever turkey hunted a day in her life. And she'd never shot a gun.
That's awesome, Sam. Go ahead.
And it was really cool because we kind of showed her what to do, the safety and this and that. So we had everything set up in a ground blind. And we had how many turkeys coming in gobbling that with Hadley?
4 or 5.
4 or 5 gobbling. And she was so excited. And she actually did kind of a rookie or a kid mistake, or I guess a mistake that any of us could do. Kind of,
you got to face off the gun too far.
And so she shot over the top, but she still had the time of her life. And my daughter was excited to take her friend and not have to be the one that's shooting, so trying to show her, you got to be happy for your friends too, when they harvest an animal or, taking them hunting. I mean, Dawn's always taken Kaylee fishing since she was 3 years old.
As long as she could walk, she'd been casting,
And the one thing that Dawn's always made sure for Kaylee is if you can afford it, make sure they always have good equipment, not, I don't know how to explain it, but just
get the best equipment you can in a kid's hands. They need it worse than anybody does. Like fishing, for example, is what she's probably getting at. A lot of these guys expect their kids to fish with these really cheap rods that are just terrible. Go out and get them something decent where they can learn on it and throw it. And that's what we started Kaylee on, a bait caster when she was 5 years old.
Yep.
So that's what I would tell somebody. Don't go cheap if you can help it.
No, that's good. I think that makes a lot of sense. Definitely. So, again, if you're just joining us here on Bushnell Live, we're talking with Don and Kandi Kisky, the Whitetail Freaks. They're checking in from Iowa, giving us a little insight, a lot of different topics we've been kind of covering. But if you guys have a question for Don or Kandi, feel free to fire it off there in the comments. I'll do my best to get to them. Otherwise, I always have a few more questions prepared. So if you want to throw something out there in the bottom you've been curious about, you've got two extraordinary hunters here that have done a lot. So feel free to fire away, and we'll see if we can't get a couple answered. So one of the questions I've had to ask everybody, since we are kind of under quarantine, people are opening up. Have you guys had a luxury item or something around the house that you purchased that you're just really happy you did? We've heard a lot of different things to answer this question, so I was just curious if maybe there's something around the house you're going, ooh, this is sure is nice.
Other all my Bushnell equipment that I got. That's the nicest thing I've got around here. What do we have? We're spoiled. We haven't had to purchase much of it on the hunting side of things.
Well, that's just anything. Honestly, we haven't really done a lot of purchasing lately. We've done some. Hey, I cleaned my bedroom. I mean, that's a luxury deal. I got 12 trash bags of old clothes out of Dawn's closet. When it was starting to come out of the closet,
all sponsored clothes.
I mean, it was time to get rid of. But unfortunately, now there's still 12 bags in my garage because of all the quarantine. I haven't been able to get rid of it. But I'm happy to get rid of it. I want to take it to a homeless shelter. That's normally what I always do with his clothes because they're all real nice clothes. And homeless shelters always, really appreciate, getting some nice stuff so they can, possibly get a job or, job interview or whatever. So hoping to get that to them, soon. But other than that, I mean, this man likes to purchase expensive things like a tractor or, skid steer or all kinds of stuff like that. So right here, I don't get to purchase much.
Yeah, we got a small fortune in machinery, I think. Now that stuff I don't agree. Central Illinois Ag does bring me some stuff over here every once in a while.
Every once in a while. Are you able to harvest all the does? I wish we were able to harvest all the does we need to. Robin?
Yeah, that's a.
So are you guys shooting for a certain number each year, or what is it? What's kind of the secret there to make sure you keep that buck to doe ratio where it should be?
Well, that's a real problem we've got up here in Iowa now is getting enough tags to shoot the does. It used to be that we had a bonus season January 10th through the 20th, I believe it was.
Something like that.
There's a 10-day period where it wasn't unlimited tags, but you could buy like 800 tags in town. So, I mean, we went out, I bought 50 tags, and that year we shot 54 adult does down here below the house and just got it perfect down 1-to-1 buck to doe ratio, or at least 2-to-1, real close. But since then, they closed our bonus season down because of the EHD outbreak. They're kind of wrapping the whole state into the same picture. We're up here 20 miles. They had a bad EHD breakout, and down here at my house, I didn't lose any. So they took that away from us for now. So we're struggling with that now.
But some of the counties got opened up to having the bonus season that had CWD. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm hoping, I know the legislation has been closed or whatever. Hopefully they do their new laws by July 1st, but none of us were able to really have the town hall meetings to voice our concerns and this and that. So of course I've, emailed the DNR and said, hey, what's going on? Are we going to be able to do this? So crossing our fingers, maybe, just maybe, our county might open up and allow that bonus season again.
I don't think you can kill too many does, though. It's tough. We're having just do the math. If you got 100 does on your place and they're all having twin fawns, you got about at least a fawn and a half average. Out of the fawn and a half average are half bucks, half does. So right there, it tells you how many does you need to shoot.
Good quick math. I got into journalism school, so I didn't have to do math. So I'll have to go back and listen to that.
But my point,
hey,
Matt, to keep the numbers really low, though, is it better on the habitat than everything? So that's why your buck top end potential is better. He's got better food, less stress, less breeding. And that all adds up in the end to bigger bucks.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense when you kind of stop and think about the toll it has. I mean, yeah, you hit on something, and I know we could probably spend another hour talking about it, but the EHG that hit you guys on the farm, some people might not be familiar with that. Can you kind of give us the real short version of what that is and how that affects the deer?
Well, from what everybody tells me, EHD is epizootic hemorrhagic disease. It's as close as I can say it. But it's a midge fly that either infects the deer through the velvet of the antlers, is how I think a lot of the bucks are dying, is through the velvet, because they get blood exposed that way, or they get in the nose of the deer and bite the nose and infect it with a virus that way. And they get a high fever and end up dying. I guess it can happen even after August. I mean, it can keep dying throughout the year. That's what the DNR guys was telling me. They don't have to all die right away. They can succumb to it later, which I didn't know. So, but it's a bad one. I don't know how you combat it. One thing that I will tell everybody is everybody always says it's on dry years. I've had 2 bad breakouts on this farm, and they've both been on the wettest summers that I've ever seen. And what happens, I get all kinds of standing water all over my bottom fields. And then when the water starts drying up, all that mud is exposed, and that's where the midge fly comes from. On the dry years, all my deer are in the river to drink water because there's no water anywhere else, basically. And my river is a sandy running river. So I've never had a breakout on a dry year yet.
Well, and one year when it was wet, we had a problem in the bottom field, we had aphids on our soybeans. So we had the plane fly over with insecticide. And
that's right. It saved me. Everybody else had a big problem. I didn't lose a deer that year.
Yep.
So actually, by spraying insecticide saved me.
Yeah, no, it's a very unpredictable disease as far as a lot's not known about it. It's kind of funny how similar it is to what we're all experiencing on the other side of the fence, what's going on now. But no, it's sad to hear that term more often and repeated. So, hopefully it's something that the DNRs and the different groups can get out in front of it, so we don't see that. Anybody who's deer hunted, it seems like we've had a couple of almost deer pandemics, if you will, that have kind of flared up and then gone back down. So, this one's definitely one to keep an eye on. That's for sure. So,
also, we just did discover we had our first case of CWD here in this county.
Yeah, north.
Yes. So chronic wasting disease. That's a whole nother animal right there.
Yeah, that's another scary one for sure. So enough about the bad stuff. I thought it's something that we could do that might be kind of fun. Since you're the Whitetail Freaks, I figured we'd test your scoring acumen, if that's the right word, and we'll show a couple pictures of bucks. For those of you that might be watching, go ahead and comment below maybe what you think the score of these deers are, and we'll just see who's a little bit better guessing. I mean, or averaging, calculating, however you want to say it. So before we do that, is there a secret that you guys are? Because I struggle with it. I'll be honest. Calling a deer on the hoof and trying to get a score and looking at age is something that takes a lot of time, as you mentioned. But when you're looking to try to score a deer, what is it that you're looking at? What kind of tips could you offer there?
Main thing I'm looking at is obviously tine length, because that adds up quicker than anything. If they don't have 11 or 12 inch tines, you start putting 8s and 9s on, they don't add up very quick. You got real short brows and you got your beam length, you can have up to 27, 28 inch beam. But some of those deer, that's the toughest. Sometimes you can't tell. You can see a deer and think, man, he's got 24 inch beams. When to find out they're only 20. So the beams are a little bit tougher to judge, but
and body size too
that takes a big.
What state is that from? Is it from Texas?
Yeah. So what I tell people, if it's from Texas, deduct 20 inches. Those small bodies will fool you every time.
Absolutely. And
same with Canada. I killed a big one up in Canada. I thought Randy Birdsong filmed me shoot that one. I thought it was a 160, and ended up scoring 175 or something like that. I missed by 15 inches.
All right. So if you're watching at home, now's the time where you want to grab your little adult beverage, and then if you're close to it, maybe take a drink. If not, you can just sit there. So, all right, here we go. We got contestant number 1 here. I do know a little bit about these deer in terms of where they were harvested. So if you feel like you need a lifeline, I'll give you that, but I won't give you much more. So, all right, here's deer number 1.
Big.
Oh,
yeah, it's big.
My Lord.
Well, I can't see the deer side very
good. Here's my second. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's going to be a little hard down there, but I'll give you a hint. Nothing's below a 160.
Now, first
so what's
first glance on that deer? It looks like a 190 almost.
Well, and the guy's not over exaggerating either. A lot of times you got to, watch to make sure people aren't going like this or, like that. Yeah. I mean, so he's not over exaggerating.
It'd be hard to say score for sure, but I'd have to see the antler being rotated so I can see all the tines. But at first glance, it looks like a darn good deer.
I gotta plug my computer in.
Okay. Well, you're right on it, Don. That was a 185 out of Wisconsin. So you were right on it. So nice. All right.
I shot it too. I'm trying to find that for you.
Definitely. You don't let him grow another. You don't let him grow another year.
Exactly.
So all right. While Kandi's getting the computer plugged in, we'll
Kandi, I don't think you reached me over there. We got
Go
there
ahead.
you go.
Keep talking.
All right.
technical
difficulties here. She didn't think I had to have the computer plugged in.
I have the computer.
All right. All right, so here we go. Here's buck number 2, Don, while Kandi's getting set up here. Here's another monster for you.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my Lord.
Hey, that's my 21-pointer.
Wow, look at the flaming brow tines on that buck. What a beauty.
Well, that is the hardest deer to judge because there's so many brow tines there. It could be a lot higher than you think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, my gosh. You had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. There's like 10 brows there. And you do 10 brows times an average of, I don't know, 6 inches each or 5 inches each.
And what does he got coming off the base on the back, too?
Yeah, it's 50 inches abnormal.
Yeah, there's a lot.
He's a
There's a lot going on. So
I don't know if I want to guess that.
What you get? Give me a guess.
I'm going to say 201.
Okay.
Oh, man. Then brow tines will kill me. I'm going to go back to 185 or 90. 190. I'll go with 190. I'm probably way off. I'd have to see it again.
All right. Sam and Kandi are pretty close. We're at 216.
216?
Bad boy was from Ohio. Jeff Mason. That was a 216 is what that thing ended up being. So good guess there by Sam, and then Larry wasn't too far off. He's at 235. So yeah, there's some pretty in that neighborhood. All right. So let me see if I can't get to buck number 3 here. All right. This one should be a little easier, but probably not.
Ooh, look at the
Nice draw.
Here we go on this bad boy.
Holy cow, look at that brow. That's got to be at least almost like a 16-inch brow. You think?
No. It's not that. But
Oh, come on. Looks like it.
That's nice. That's a really nice deer. I mean, I'm going to have to
Is
go.
that a typical 8?
That's all I get to look at, and I got to remember it. There it is.
I'm going to say 182.
I'm going to push it up towards 188.
All right, Don, you're closer. You were closer without going over. That was 203 and 3/8. So right at 203 is what that one came in at. That was Dylan Boone took that one. That was a really beautiful buck.
Look at those brown tines scored too. Those are giant.
Well, you know what? Also, it's set behind these deer. If these guys are big guys, they make them look smaller too.
Yeah, definitely.
Her and Tiffany behind a deer, they can make a deer look 20 inches bigger just because they're behind it.
All right, so this will be maybe a little bit easier. It's probably a better photo because it's just a shoulder mount. This came out of Wyoming, so here we go on this on buck number 4.
Christmas.
Look at the Palmation on the left side.
That's just stupid. 235.
Dang. I want him on my wall. That's what I want. Oh my gosh. Would you say 2 what?
I don't know. I'd have to get my notebook out and start writing stuff down. 1, 2, 3. Just a beautiful.
Yeah, Larry, I'm with
beautiful
you.
mountain.
Wow is right. That's all I gotta say. What's your guess?
All right,
240.
you got a guess.
240? Give it to us, Matt.
191.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I would have guessed a lot. I would have guessed higher too. All right. Here's one I think will probably be Robin. Robin was pretty close. He was throwing at 206. So Robin, good guess there. So all right, Here's going to be deer number 5. This one will be right up Don's alley because this is an actual shed. So maybe this will be a little easier for him. All right.
I guess.
Oh, the
buck. Oh,
the
buck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing's lower than 160. You said, correct?
I did. That is the trick.
Well, I mean, I'd put it at 175 or 80.
182.
I'm always misjudging lower than everybody else. So
we had a 179 from Don, and what would you say, Kandi?
182.
Okay, 179. Buck from Wisconsin. You guys are. I think that's pretty good guess. You guys are right on that one. So is it?
I missed one before. You got one right. That's how much I'm doing, guys.
Oh Lord.
All right. Here we go. We got one. We got a couple more here. Here's Ashley from Indiana with a nice buck that she took. Here we go.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, wow.
Well, if you say nothing smaller than 160, I'll say it's 160.
I say 171.
So I got to give it to Kandi on this one, 167. So right in there. So you guys both jumped on that 160. What was it about that deer that just kind of threw it out there? What was there something you were looking at in particular? Because that was some good guesses.
Finally.
Week 4s and the beam's a little bit short.
I mean, still a beautiful buck.
2s and 3s are great. Then I looked at the beams right off the bat, and then I looked at the 4s.
So we got some more guesses. Sam's been guessing away 170. So yeah, right there in the neighborhood. So yeah, awesome. We got some people online that are doing all right. All right, a couple more deer here. I don't know about you guys, but I could just stare at pictures of big deer all day if that was all I had to do. This one might be a little bit of that kind of trickery with the camera. Not so much that he's big fishing it, but using the sky to an advantage, which is a good tip for you. He really shows off that rack. So here we go. This is going to be from Texas. So remember Don's little tip about Texas about what you need to do. So here we go.
That's got, yeah, nonetheless, I don't care what you say. It's got tall 2s and 3s.
And you got to look at his hand, how the base, if he's, going like that, or if he's, gripping it.
The beams are the worst thing on him, but everything else is super tall.
Wow, what a neat buck. It almost looks like a Buckmaster buck.
I'm still going to have to go.
175.
185.
This one came in at 206, actually.
Oh.
Hardy Jackson, he scored 206. So, yeah, it can be deceptive. I wouldn't have guessed it at that high. It didn't look like it had that much mass to it. But, again, it is a little – I'll give you.
I deducted 20 because it was Texas. Actually, I was just right. I shouldn't have deducted anything.
You would have deducted it. You'd have been right on it. All right, we got one more Texas buck. This guy is big. This will be the biggest buck we're going to show. So I'll give you a little bit of idea on this bad boy. So see if we can't get Mr. Chad Jones up here.
What the heck is that? Look at that thing. Wow. All I know is I would have a heart attack if that thing came in the woods.
Is that a Midwestern whitetail?
I'd have a heart attack. Oh, my God.
Well, if you say it's the biggest thing, it must be 220 or something like that.
No higher than that. I say.
No.
Yep.
215.
No, we've had one higher than that.
Did we?
Yeah, you're not listening very good.
Well, let's hear everybody else's comments then.
I say
those are hard to guess.
I'm saying 260.
What?
Yeah, why not? Go big or go home.
I'm going with 215.
Okay. Well, that came in at 237. 237 on that buck. I'm with.
You weren't as close. I mean, I told you were low.
230. Wow. Yeah, some of them really fool you. You can't tell.
I'm with. Oh yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm with Kandi. If I saw that thing walk in, I don't know what I would do. I would probably just sit there and stare at him. That's just That's just unbelievable that there's animals like that running around. Unbelievable. Well, that was
definitely shoot right over the top.
So when a deer walks, when that big buck comes walking in and you guys have I mean, you still get buck fever, right? It still kind of gives you that excitement. It has to, right?
Oh my gosh.
No doubt about it. I tell everybody, I've struggled with target panic for years. So, it's just getting the pin on the right spot and settling in. And, I've shot over 1 million deer in my life, and I struggle with that all the time. But we tell each other, just slow everything down, get the pin on it, and make sure the pin is steady. Don't rush the shot. We're both terrible about rushing the shot sometimes.
Yeah. And that's another reason why we hunt together, is because he knows how how he needs to calm me down, because we're married, and same back at him. I know, what not to do, what not to say, because you don't want to say the wrong things, because then you're filming or whatever, and so just my heart's always racing. There's a couple other things that go through our minds and stuff that I'm not disclosing, but
I usually it's funny. I don't think I had that target panic until the cameras came out. And see, once the cameras came out, then that got me to be really quick. So I struggle with that. I'm getting a little bit better, but every once in a while it creeps in there again.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's to me is the enjoyment of it all. It's just that excitement that you get, that unpredictability, that feeling. I hope it never goes away. It surely hasn't now. So it's good to hear for as long as you guys have been doing it. It's still there. So it's definitely an adrenaline rush, and makes it addictive for sure.
And something some guys don't know. Levi Morgan did a big piece on this. He's even struggled with that. Yeah, he's a world-class shooter. Mm-hmm. So if you've been bow hunting long enough, at some point in your career or your life, it's going to affect you a little bit.
Absolutely.
There's nothing bad about it. You just have to be able to control it.
Yeah. So, other than, keeping your sight steady, and breathing, do you guys do anything else? I think that's great what Kandi said about, if you're hunting with somebody long enough, you kind of know what to say to kind of help them kind of calm out of it. But I guess one of the big things is just don't rush the shot, right? Just take your time, get steady, whether it's a bow, a rifle, muzzleloader, shotgun, whatever it is. Take that extra couple seconds and get it all squared away.
And that's easier said than done too. Sometimes, that's for sure.
Especially when one of those big boys comes walking out like that, like that last one we just showed. Holy cow! There's just be going like this the whole time.
Why do I think that one year on Don's Typical that I hit the year? Come on. I was nervous.
Well, we're really good about hitting the blind too. We've hit blind rods, blind curtains. I'm really bad about not getting my blinds opened up far enough. And, your arrow, your sight pin is clear, obviously, but your arrow's not. So you got to be real careful about that.
Well, that's why the style of your blind is so important, what you're hunting out of, especially if you got two people and all the equipment and everything else. You got to, we always know where the rods are, what style of the windows, which ones that we know we're not going to hit the window on.
One other thing that I've been bad at is hitting the cam on the roof. I did it 3 times last year, or the year before. But the reason why is when those blind roofs come down at a sharp angle, well, I'm not in the middle of the blind. My cameraman is. So I'm stuffed over to the edge. When you stick your bow up there, if you look, your cam's already touching the roof. And man, when that cam comes over and hits that, your arrow is going to go 12 foot high. So that's one thing to really make sure. We try not to shoot out the corner window just for that reason. We try to stay out the front.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yep. Good tip. Kind of be aware of that. All right. So before we let you guys go, and again, we certainly appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun and a lot of good information, actually. I didn't think it wouldn't be, but you guys have shared a lot on that end. So we appreciate it. No, it's been fun. So we have this little lightning round prepared. And, this is what I say is really going to let us know what Don and Kandi are all about. So the secret to the lightning round is try not to overthink the answers. Whichever one comes to mind is the right one, because there is no wrong answer. This is totally your opinion. So are we ready to find out about the true freaks? Are we ready for the lightning round?
Sure. We're ready.
Go for it.
All right. Question number 1. On your hot dog, mustard or ketchup?
Ketchup.
Don, I didn't hear your answer. What was that?
Well, I said it before you ended the question. I said mustard.
Perfect. All right. As hunters, question number 2, we've all been out there in that situation where there wasn't wasn't toilet paper, what's your go-to solution, natural or otherwise, if you don't have the toilet paper in the stand?
Well, I'll tell you, you take an ear of corn, and if you peel it back, you can find these beautiful husks on the inner layer, and they work wonderfully. If you got a creek or stream nearby, you got clean water. You're good to go, man.
Oh, I just hold it. Plug it on.
She's the opposite. They don't bother me at all.
Oh, that's great.
We have some. We have this. We have wipes in our bag too.
That's true.
So not just toilet paper. There's wipes.
Wildlife research.
I don't know in your quarantine if you've been have been watched the Tiger King like everybody else, but if you did Carol Baskins kill her husband?
I have no idea. I haven't watched.
I asked her that same question the other day. Who in the heck is Carol Baskin?
He only knows her from TikTok. That's it.
I was going to say, I figured from TikTok you had to unravel that ball of twine a little bit. So, all right, moving right along. We're not Tiger King fans. All right, so if you guys could invite anyone into your house, past, present, future, fictional, who would you invite in to come hang out with you guys under quarantine for a little while?
Wow. Man, you got me on that one.
Kind of got me on that one too.
Anybody? Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, maybe? I don't know.
Well, those that know me. Oh god.
Well, that works. That worked.
Hey, think of the mind.
Well, everybody.
Right. Here's one.
Might be John Bon Jovi, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, little John Bon. All right.
I got.
All right. Here's a fill. Here's a fill in the blank for you. All right. You'll never find me in the deer stand without blank.
My binoculars.
Binoculars. Same here. Don't we go?
Peanut butter, crunchy or smooth?
What'd you say?
Peanut butter, crunchy or smooth?
Smooth.
Okay. Okay to pee in the shower? Yes or no?
Sure.
Dog goes the same place.
All right. If you could only hunt one species, this is probably an easy one for you guys, but if you'd only hunt one species for the rest of your life, what are you doing?
I'm going to go with elk. Believe it or not.
Oh.
If I could only hunt one species?
One.
I'd say whitetail.
I like the physical aspect of it. That's kind of.
Yeah, I think. All right, so you have to go get that secret roll of toilet paper. Of course, you guys have got it all, and you go to put it on the roll. Which way is the toilet paper facing, over or under?
He's terrible. Hers is always under. It drives me insane.
Well, why don't you start putting the paper on there for yourself?
I've actually changed it before because it's irritating.
Because he doesn't change. He doesn't put the toilet paper on, so I give him a challenge. So I'm trying to.
It's up against the wall where you can't get it. That's no brainer.
I told you this would really allow us to know who you really are. So see, I wasn't lying there. All right, here's the last question. So this is a pretty easy one for most of us. The best thing about being a hunter is fill in the blank.
It is what?
The best thing about being a hunter is blank.
Just being self-sufficient to me.
And that's been a key thing this year, obviously, is all these people about meat shortage and stuff. And one thing we could say is, well, we're self-sufficient. We have our own cooler, our own grinding,
I got
meat processing
elk in the
stuff.
freezer.
Yeah.
I processed 3 deer this year. We eat everything
Fish.
out of the wild, and that's the greatest thing for us. We know where to come from that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It has been nice to have a freezer full of meat for sure. I'm ready for fall to get around the corner because we're going through it this year a little bit faster than normal. So looking forward to back to the season. Well, Donnie, Kandi, we really appreciate you guys taking some time to come join us. Hopefully the weather gets a little sunnier and dries out so you guys can get back out there on the field. But thank you guys very much for coming on Bushnell Live and spending a little time with us today. It's been a lot of fun.
No doubt, Matt. Thank you. Appreciate it. And appreciate all you guys checking us out today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to all of our first responders, all the nurses, everybody out there fighting the fight right now for us. You know, while we're all in quarantine, we appreciate everybody.
Good luck this season, everybody out there. Hope everybody kills a booner.
Yeah, no, we echo those sentiments here. Yeah, we appreciate everybody out there doing what they're doing. And so before we leave, tell everybody outside of TikTok where they can follow the Whitetail Freaks at.
Well, of course, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So Whitetail Freaks TV. I can't get this man to dance yet on TikTok, so just make him go viral, and I can get him to go dance. Maybe it's going to take getting Troy Landry with him to dance, but I think we got it.
Maybe some dry weather will make me dance.
Here you go.
Give me some dry weather.
He did dance
on
the combine with no pants on, so there's a possibility.
It's a long story.
That's live too.
For another episode. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll be back next week, God willing, and you can catch us here on Thursdays. Don, Kandi, well, we appreciate it. You guys have a great evening. Thanks again.
Back at you, Matt. Take
Thanks,
care.
guys.